coming to you live from the land of chlamydia-ridden koalas. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
Welcome to episode 140 of the Destiny Down Under podcast. My name is Log Powerslave, and as always, I am joined by Mylan, Terminally Ill Games, and Real-Time Sloth, proudly brought to you by Vaporation.
Vaporation under the roll, I did double
Who cares? It's for fucking fuckwits anyway, isn't it?
Don't say that about vaping. You've got to offend. On an Australian podcast, you just offended 95% of our fucking listeners, mate, at train stations, okay?
People listening to the podcast at people listening to the podcast at Toowong train station at 3 o'clock in the morning, making sure that they're vaping. No, they're not vaping, mate. They're smoking copious amounts of weed.
Do people even ask for lighters anymore, or is it just everyone on the vape? Like, do you share vape?
No, you've got people spit on it. That's would you share a dart? No, you wouldn't share a cigarette, really. Would you?
No, some people do, I think.
Maybe with my missus, I might.
I wouldn't even share my vape with my missus. That's fucking atrocious.
Well, there you go.
Well, there we go. We've learned something, everyone. All right, that's it. That's a podcast this week. We've learnt that. Anyway, boys, how you doing? Before we jump into the surprise fucking Luke Smith 2-hour-long monologue of what's happening with seasons.
He's just gone, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want this? I'm going to just keep doing it until you finally say, okay. That's enough communication from Bungie. Please go back to not telling us everything.
That's what I said to you guys before is like, I really like this level of communication, but I also would really like someone on Reddit to summarize it for me. So we can put it in bullet point forms and talk about it with a bit more effectiveness. So anyway, dudes, Matt, still crook.
I've been crook since, you know what did it? Anthem. I've been crook since the Japan Anthem trip, man. I got the flu over there, and I just haven't been right since. Maybe it's Anthem.
You got that Bukaki flu. It's bad shit, man. Oh, I've successfully recovered from Bukaki eye from last week. It got real bad not long after the podcast, and then I spent all weekend fighting it off, putting like bullshit thick ointment in my eye, which was unpleasant. Anyway, Sothy, how about you? Suffering any ailments, mate, or how's your health?
Yeah, right.
If you're listening to the podcast, please write in the comments why the fuck you were listening to the podcast.
Why do you even listen to it? So
we have this thing where every week we're like, oh, there's people in the chat already. We haven't started, and then we start going like, why do people even watch this shit? Anyway, it's good. It's good content. If you're listening and you're a sponsor or something, sponsor us. We're good.
Road, sponsor us.
No, we need big fucking vapor drops at the moment.
Vapor drops. DDU brought to you by Bunnings and Vicks. We can talk about it later. I was talking about today about other unrelated shit, and I was telling him how I get my kids to go to sleep when they're sick. But we can talk about that later. There's a little fucking tease for later in the show for you. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Pro dad tips. So how's your health?
Statistically speaking, at least someone here probably has erection problems.
Statistically speaking, I think it's probably all three of us.
If we continue this podcast longer, then I will sponsor at one point. How many years has Destiny got left?
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to get there. We'll all be on this week on the Destiny Down Under podcast, brought to you by, I can't remember the name of there's a podcast that I listened to that had that erection tablets ad. It's all natural.
Really?
Yeah.
All natural. Oh no, all natural. Oh shit, what's it called? For hymns, all natural hymns.
Yeah,
fucking for the man who doesn't worry about not getting an erection because he can take a blue tablet and fucking bar up.
Do you want a raging fat? Fucking have one of these puppies. You be fucking. You be able to hammer in steaks with it.
We haven't been given an opportunity to do an ad read, but I feel like if we got anything, I think we would do a crack up job of an ad read. Like.
Yeah, maybe this is why we don't have sponsors, or maybe it's because we don't seek them out in any shape, way, or form.
Not at all.
Maybe it's the word cunt. Who knows? Slothy goat.
Horny goat weed.
Slothy goat.
This week has been all about the Tarkov, and this week Tarkov has not been very nice to me. Shut the fuck up! You asked for my fucking week.
Well, I asked if you had
and
your
I've
health
lost
was.
about 3.5 million rubles. So
no, not your fucking rubles.
I will kick you from this fucking call.
No, you better not.
Please,
because then it just becomes the log power slave down under.
You say no, you won't. You know what fucking happens.
Yeah, I said no, you won't, and then I backpedaled really quickly because I was fucking waiting to get. Oh, rock and roll. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to hear about Tarkov. So I'm sick of it.
Oh fuck! You know what? Fucking
let him
fucking
talk.
Play it, can't.
Let him talk.
Well, let him start his own fucking podcast called Tarkov Down Under, and you can go your fucking artist, and then I have to listen to it.
Don't tell me that because I'll probably go with him.
You've been doing this by yourself.
Just be you by yourself.
On a related note, Matt and I are leaving to start a podcast called Tarkov Down Under with Pestily and Slush Puppy. See you later, Log. Thanks, mate.
I'll be with all my mates. None of them.
None of them.
I reckon I could talk at a camera for an hour. It'd be scary, but I could do it.
You do it on stream.
Yeah, I know. All right, where are we
you
up
don't
to?
sit there by yourself either. Can't.
Anyway.
All right. Guys, this week, fuck, we got some news coming out, eh?
Yeah, it was one of those things where
restructuring and
one of those things yesterday. I was like,
name?
is there that much to talk about? And then it was kind of like a bomb went off this morning and everything absolutely, like obviously there was a TWAB coming, but holy shit, another Luke Smith explanation of the way we're going with seasons. And like, just to preface this, there seems to be a heap of confusion out there and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to do our best to muddle through it and bounce off each other and develop a bit of an understanding because we've all read it individually but haven't really discussed it with anyone. So take it as read that
pies.
You haven't read it.
I never fucking read the TWAB, cunt. How many times do I have to tell you?
I sent you a fucking message.
That's
I know.
Why Sloth is here is to read it so he knows what's going on.
Yeah, true.
No, I actually did read it. No, I will say as well, just straight off the bat, I don't know if I like them, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Like you don't.
Yeah, I think everyone is in the same thing. Like, no, just the look, just the face value is like no. But I think when you look at it a bit deeper, it's maybe not as bad.
We can talk about that. We can talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so do you want to go through the week of Bungie first, or do you want to talk about Luke Smith shit first?
Let's talk about Luke Smith shit first, because there's not a whole heap in Bungie in this week of Bungie, except that they're going to PAX West, and that's unreal. But I'm envious because I live on the fucking wrong continent.
If you are at PAX West, or you're going to PAX West this weekend, make sure you stop by. A lot of people there. I think B on Key is there.
Barry's going to be there. He's going to be there on Sunday signing books.
More books, baby. Okay, look, if you're going, make sure you get Christopher Barrett to sign your anthology because he is an absolute fucking hound when it comes to the law. Like I think the reason the anthology happened was probably because of Christopher Barrett. He was the person that called me up to pitch to go, do you want to do this? And I don't, without him, I don't think it would have happened. So if you want to have a conversation, like fucking have a beer with him and he'll talk about law fucking to the cows come home.
Chew your ear off.
Yeah. Also, get a photo of him as well and make sure you verify who he is, because we don't know what he looks like.
Well, Matt does.
We don't even know if he's actually human.
Matt swore, like, has signed a legal affidavit that he will not discuss the appearance of Christopher Barrett, which makes me believe that he's a machine. Anyway.
He is actually an AI. So, yeah, Luke Smith, 17 hours ago, he wrote up his seasons in Destiny 2's third year. Not verbatim, but very close to it. A couple of weeks ago, he did a part 1, part 2, part 3. He did this huge fucking write-up for what they liked, what they didn't like, and it got a lot of respect and a lot of goodwill from the community to actually go out and say, well, we tried, we fucked up on some things, we excelled on other things, and a lot of people can really like that, and they related to that quite a bit. So well done, Luke Smith, on that, for understanding your audience. A Rise of Iron sized expansion, Shadowkeep. Now that is interesting to see, because Rise of Iron was actually fairly large. It was a brand new map. It probably wasn't as big as Forsaken, but it was quite large.
Of like
nice to see.
The scope of the story wasn't huge, and I think that's what they're trying to get across with that comparison. You know, like we had the Plague Lands, obviously, so it was another zone that you could go and hang out in. We've got the Moon this time around. We're going to get a short. We're going to get a short but probably epic story, and then we're off into Season of the Vex, or the Undying. So
Season of Undying, yeah.
Yeah.
Which comes, so that's the thing that a lot of people some people have asked me on stream, off stream, and otherwise, is that do you have to buy Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying in two lots? No, it's all included in Shadowkeep. If you buy Shadowkeep, Season of the Undying is included. Now with the seasons that moving forward with the end of this year and next year, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Good quick maths. Yeah.
Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're doing 4 seasons in this Destiny 2 Year 3, which is really nice. They only did 3 seasons this last year. So more content. And it seems that they want to be able to use it to shape the Destiny universe. Now, the big thing is that Luke Smith touched on during this is that he did a bit of a Wayne's World.
That was probably a good way of doing it, actually.
Which was really, really cool. But he was talking about so Season of the Forge. He would like to see. I'm back from every Guardian gets a message. I'm back from outer space, be in the tower here at this point in time, and we'll go from there. Now, he referred to Ada-1 coming down into the tower, a ship that no one's ever seen before. She phases out of it and she goes, "We've got lots of work to do, Guardians." Everyone just follows her down to her basement where she is. She gives out quests. She gives out all that sort of thing. And she gives out the content, and then the more the season goes on, you might see some stuff disappearing from her area. You might see some quests disappearing from her area. You might see everything starting to pack up, and when it gets to the end of the season, you see her stuff getting packed up. And you get it packed up, and then she's gone.
Can we just?
That's the thing.
We just stop. I think it's important that we discuss that for a sec, because that is something that I think Destiny has struggled with, and we've talked about extensively, at least on here, right? Is that whole content redundancy, the kind of like the gloss wears off things and they just sit there and gather dust forever. And I think this is Bungie realizing that, Bungie trying to, allow current seasons to push focus towards a particular activity and then have it go away. And I think that, like, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and we'll get further into it shortly with the way that the new structure and all of that. But I think it makes a big difference to the way Destiny as a franchise can move forward telling its stories when not everything has to maintain this sort of like outward permanence. And, you know, like there's not this like, okay, well, everything in the tower can't change because everyone has to fucking, you know, that has to be an unbreakable microcosm of fucking everything, right? And I think that we can see more meaningful advancement of the Destiny world as a result of that new approach. I think it's good.
I mean, well, I don't know. Part of my brain also thinks, well, they're trying to be an MMO, and I'm trying to think. Well, I didn't play World of Warcraft, but I played Guild Wars a bit, and they just keep adding to the world, right? They don't take stuff away.
They don't take stuff away. No. When Cataclysm hit in WoW, when Cataclysm hit, the entire world changed because Deathwing flew over the top of the map, like fucking burned a whole bunch of shit. The world changed and all that sort of stuff, but nothing has
Between seasons.
Nothing has been removed. So what I was referring to is that Ada, like in his little Wayne's World thingy, he was like, yeah, at the end of the season, you see Ada 1 packing up, and then she's gone. And then there was a note from Banshee, is just like Ada 1 has left, but you can still get some stuff from Banshee in regards to that season. So the way that I read this, the note from Luke Smith, and the way that I read it was the season of the Undying is the Vex invasion on the moon from the Black Garden. Mm-hmm. And they will be pushing onto the moon, and there'll be Hive, and there'll be Fallen, and there'll be fucking Vex everywhere, and be like bang, 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 pew, 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 all that sort of shit. But at the end of the season, those portals will close, and who knows what the moon is going to look like at the end of that season. But those portals will close, and that's it. And then we move into the next season. So adding things to the world, giving people access to those things, using the season pass into building your artifact, building this, building that. And then at the end of the season comes, it's gone. Artifact's gone, it's reset, blah, 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 move on.
I definitely think there's a negative side to this, and I agree that for logistical reasons it needs to do that. But they often talk about like wanting to be more MMO and wanting to do more world building. And I understand that people aren't using activities. And I understand that Destiny also sits in this weird space where it's not quite an MMO, it's also a shooter, and it's also graphically, intensive compared to other MMOs as well. But part of me also feels like seeing stuff being removed from the world, I think does reduce immersion in that world because it's like it never existed anymore.
Oh,
so you're only like.
I see it the other way, man. I see it the other way.
It adds immersion to the world because I was there. I played that. So when you guys both have, well, at least Log, you have the Prometheus Lens emblem on your account.
Yeah.
From playing when Prometheus Lens was fucking insanity.
Yeah, and I think that's a very small example of what this kind of thing is.
I get fear of missing out. I get fear of missing out when I saw that. And I think with a set of like a bunch of good writing, which we know that they have fantastic writers. They can go for your character, which they know that you can have instant conversations. So you've got veteran dialogue and then you've got other dialogue. You're speaking to Zavala and he goes, you repelled, you went to the moon, you got rid of the fucking Dark Tower, you went to the moon, you repelled the Vex invasion, then you went to the Black Garden, did what they ever did there. That's awesome. But someone who didn't do it, who goes, other Guardians went in your stead, so on and so forth. So I think it does absolutely increase immersion.
I definitely see that point.
It is the next step.
Let me throw this hypothetical then. So let's say we finish with Shadowkeep, we defeat the evil on the moon.
Yep.
And then the moon there's no whatever activities they're going to introduce on the moon in Shadowkeep, they remove as a plan, that it doesn't keep rolling over.
Yep.
So my mind still thinks, well, the moon still exists. There might still be stuff there, but you guys think, no, we've done that. Like it's finished. We don't need to go back there, sort of deal.
No, so I'm not looking at it that way. Look at planets and shit like that as assets that are going to remain. You know, like they're not going to remove the moon. They may use it to tell different to tell different stories, and I think that that's the important part of it. I think the part of Destiny for me anyway, and I'm not going to speak for anyone else here because I guess it's a really kind of personal thing. But the way that one of the things that's always bugged me with Destiny is that you go into things with this sense of urgency, right? Like, oh, you've got to go and do this, and you've got to unlock these forges, and you've got to craft these weapons, and then you've got to go and do the raid and all of this. And you're like, okay, oh shit, I've done it all. And then 6 months later, it's just, oh shit, here's all this stuff that's the same stuff that you rushed through and did for a few weeks because you needed to, and it's just there gathering dust and no one gives a shit about it anymore. But when you play it, it's still got this context of like it's all urgent. It feels to me like there's something broken in the narrative when you're doing things like that. That it's like these things exist in a time bubble that you are no longer in when the story has advanced and you're playing in these things.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes that don't make sense. Yeah, look, I'm just playing devil's advocate for. I mean, when I first started playing Destiny, the first thing that got me hooked was being part of a bigger world.
Yeah.
Being part of this massive sort of universe, you know, and to be able to explore it. And this definitely puts it on an evolving track, but it's, you know, much more direction than this is a universe, go explore it, and we just keep adding to it. Now it's like this is the evolving track that we're going to place you on and you experience as you go through. And I think it's obviously a lot easier to manage like that, and also makes a huge amount of sense because people don't go back and do those activities as much as they're worth the value for having them in there.
Keg raised an incredibly valid point too in the chat. Shout out to Keg, the fourth member of the DDU that is never on here but does all of the fucking majestic pictures, and you're looking at his work right now. Do you think that this approach could have anything to do with the storage capacity of consoles? That they're kind of being forced to put in and out? Like, is that
no?
Do you don't think?
I don't know, man. The fucking
I don't think so.
Shadowkeep's massive.
It's a big. It's big, because we on PC have to download it on Steam. If you're on console, you only have to download Shadowkeep. We have to download Destiny as a whole and Shadowkeep. So that's why it's so big.
Yeah, but now, it's still that amount of data on your console.
Yeah, I do. I suspect
hard drive.
I honestly suspect that it's a factor.
500 gig is like the entry level console.
Yeah. So if you were to uninstall Destiny on Battle.net today and then reinstall it, it's still like you have to re-download everything. It's exactly the same as moving to Steam. Now, I don't think console have to uninstall Destiny 2. The base files are still there, and then Shadowkeep. So I think the download size for console, will be smaller than what it is on PC.
Yeah, I think it is anyway, man. Anyway. I downloaded the entire Forsaken last night just because I wanted to jump on the Xbox, which we can talk about later because I'm definitely going to piss some people off with some things that I'll say about it. But it was like 4.1 gig or something. It took nothing. I don't know whether there'd been things updating in the background or what, but it just went super quick.
Because Forsaken was huge. You must have had shit downloading in the background.
Yeah. Anyway, disregard.
But no, the whole point is that I don't think it's a limitation on hardware. Yes, the limitation of hardware is a factor, but I don't think it is the factor of why they're bringing in content and then pushing it out. This is touching on something that you said fucking weeks ago, Log.
Either way, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. This is something that you touched on weeks ago, is that we have these bubbles, these bubbles that we used for one bit of content, for one season, for one expansion. And then no one does it anymore.
Yep.
like we got not so much dragged kicking and screaming back into it, but we got access to do great. What was it? Grandma. What was the name for Solstice? Grandma Clothes. What was the name of the
Eva Levante?
Eva Levante. Like she sent us back into the Infinite Forest for the things that we did in there.
Okay. Yeah, I agree because I was saying that kind of stuff last time. I wish I could just grind the new stuff, not do that. But do you think that it will go in that direction of just grinding the new activities if they're going to be retiring? Because I would be really happy with that, to be honest.
You play the new activities because as someone somewhat intelligent coined fucking years ago, logging in and doing Destiny dishes just isn't the fucking it's not the thing that keeps the player base occupied, and it's not the thing that keeps the player base wanting to continue playing. It doesn't it's not engaging. But if you had new content there and it was new content every 10 weeks, and then underlying that is like the Shadowkeep content, if they have the timed lock stuff like they did with Forsaken with the Dreaming City, then there's always something new to do.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's because I'm sick and I'm being negative Nancy, but I've got another devil's advocate.
No, it's fine. It's kind of funny it's normally me or Sloth that does that shit.
Yeah, it's my fucking evil, my alter evil melon.
Yeah, just die quietly.
Yeah. So look, here's another scenario. Forsaken came along. We still haven't seen a story resolution to the Curse of the Dreaming City, and we're pushing on odds. So, do you think that the seasons are going to have this? I think I've answered my question. I think the seasons are going to have self-contained narrative, like your War Minds and your Curse of Osiris and your Season of the Drifter, and then your big ones. What happens then? Like, okay, so Forsaken has an overarching story that's gone over 12 months now, and the activity for that specifically is the Blind Well, right? What happens with those ones? Is the narrative going to change to being resolvable in a season, or are we going to have that one big narrative that goes over 12 months and is resolved? Or
I think I would love
how
to
does
see
that fit
an
with
underlying
activities?
narrative. I would love to see an underlying narrative for 12 months, but they really have a slow build up to over those 12 months, because it's been really good to figure out the story of the Dreaming City. And, you know, in all honesty, I stopped playing the Dreaming City stuff because I just found it fucking really boring. So I went and watched videos like Matt's videos and shit like that. But is that I want to see a conclusion of Shadowkeep, and then the next big DLC, and then a build up of that. You know, have the big bad at the very as the underlying big bad from the main DLC, and then the seasons build up to that. That'd be nice.
I kind of get where Matt's coming from though, and I'm gonna join Team Negative Nancy on this because because the concern I have is that given the way that the model is structured, right? Like they bandy around the term a la carte. You can buy, you know, fucking. Like, okay, so Season of the Undying comes with Shadowkeep, but you could also not buy Shadowkeep and just buy Season of the Undying. And then you could not buy either of them and just buy Season of Dawn, which comes next, and just buy that. And that could be the only thing you play for the whole year. So it kind of begs the question, are we going to end up in a situation where we get these seasons where nothing can really fucking happen because they're worried about people missing plot points? Like, so we don't see that advancement of the big arcing plot.
That's on the person then.
Yeah, no, and I agree because I don't give a shit. I'm going to be around like all year round. But
see, this is the thing: is that the game has been around for so fucking long, in the grand scheme of continuation games. It's been around for a long time. Like, it's no WoW, obviously, but the people. So to draw back to that comparison is that. The people playing World of Warcraft Classic.
Mouthful drink.
Yeah. The people playing World of Warcraft Classic right now who came from retail, which is at BFA, they would miss out on fucking 100% of the story unless they went back and watched years of videos.
Yeah, maybe
and
that's
they
it.
wouldn't know what's happening in Vanilla WoW. So, like, if you want to go and do it, the information's there. Hey, there's a fucking good lore YouTuber there.
All right, let's just fucking
you must be getting sick as well because you don't get.
Shut up, cunt! I'm trying to pay you a compliment, you fuck knuckle.
Matt, he thinks you're gonna die. He just wants to be on the right side of karma before you do, so you don't fucking haunt him.
So
a little ghost in his house with a boring voice.
I will leave. I'll leave you my PC, Sloth, if I die.
I don't watch your fucking PC. It crashes on Interchange and Shoreline. Fuck off.
I'll have it.
All right,
give it to fucking Bullfed up there.
It's fine.
No, see, this is the thing: is that they've got to constantly evolve the universe because there's a lot of unused space in this universe, and I would love to see them use a lot more of it. When was the last time, outside of this new community thing that's coming on, when was the last time that you went to a planet to just farm?
Never.
That wasn't a flashpoint.
Never.
Yeah, that wasn't a flashpoint.
I mean, for me personally, I don't do the farm. I'm a city boy. I don't like the farm. I'm not on the farm. But I want reasons to go back there that actually matter. Like, there's cool places that are fucking... Like, if they set something like there's a season of the fucking hive something badness in the arcology on Titan, the coolest place in the game that we never get to go, I think it'd be unreal. I think, look, obviously this whole thing is just speculating. We don't know. And I doubt that Bungie are going to put themselves in a position where they offer us something that was less or less refined than the last annual pass. I mean, we've spoken about it a number of times on the cast that we felt like that was kind of a, we were the guinea pigs in that system, seeing how it all panned out, and it evolved as we played through it. Like by the time we ended the annual pass with what menagerie fucking season, whatever it was called,
Opulence.
It was pretty well received, right? Like there was a lot that was in it. So we're going to take it at face value that instead of 3 seasons like that we got last time where 2 of them were okay and 1 was good, we're probably going to look, there's going to be more serious level of content.
I wouldn't even see that. You guys know my thought process is on fucking Season of the Drifter. I thought it was fucking ass piss, but that's
but the story was great.
The story was great.
The story was great, but there was no fucking raids. There was nothing. It was Gambit and Gambit and Gambit. And I'll tell you what, I personally am fucking sick of Gambit.
Yeah, I never want to play Gambit ever again.
That's the reason. One of the big reasons why I didn't do the Solstice of Heroes, because I have fucking no fucking want or need to play Gambit. I'll go log in. I'll play PvP until the cows come home. But fucking Gambit can fuck off.
Just to clarify, I like the idea of Gambit. I'm just completely burnt out on it. Like doing dredging, and then I did dredging and then started the Season of the Drifter, which was dumb. I'll admit it. And I never got to get away from it. Now I'm just burnt out on it. So if I get to have like 6-9 months off Gambit, I'll be fine. See, I mean, that's an example. I mean, Keg Rhodes before. If Season of the Drifter bought in Gambit Prime and then Gambit Prime disappeared or replaced normal Gambit at the end of that season, do you think anyone would have felt aggrieved?
I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been.
Before you hijack my point with your Gambit fucking rant.
Sorry. It's a fucking emotive subject.
All I was going to say is I think Bungie has made leaps and bounds in narrative cohesiveness stories, as in the seasons melding together and there being an overarching plot. And I just hope with being able to pick and choose and retiring activities and they're still just able to maintain that balance, that if you are there for every season, you fucking know what's going on and there's something there for you, and the seasons aren't watered down so much so you can, as a new player, just jump in. Like there needs to be that, like the new player jumps in, they generally understand what's happening in the season. The experienced player jumps in and they know that, this is Callus and his backstory is he fucking did this and blah, and like, you've got that story there as well. So there's bits and bobs for experienced and non-experienced players, because Curse of Osiris was really, like dumbed down really for anyone could jump in. You didn't really need to know anything.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't revert back to those seasons being such a bubble that they're disconnected from.
I think that's what we're getting to. I think that's what our concern is collectively about this, right? I think we are most worried that we're going to end up in another Curse of Osiris situation where it's kind of like, here's this content piece that exists in and of itself and doesn't impact on anything else. And I think by design and by the way that Luke Smith is painfully going to like do an elaborate example of reimagining the season of The Forge is to try and allay that fear. Like, this is how it would come in, this is how it would function. And when Ada leaves the tower, she leaves Gear with the Drifter. So it's not like you lose their
They're
actual
not gone forever.
Tangible
They're not
items.
gone forever.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they're touching on, is that it's not gone forever. It's just gone for that season. And that sort of segues into the next part that I do want to talk about is the artifact. The artifact is seasonal.
Yeah. Good idea, isn't it?
No, that was a shit segue, I know, right? But
that was right.
I thought it was good.
Right. So the artifact, which is we've known about for a couple of weeks, it's the Gate Lord's Eye. Now it seems to be the power level, and this is to the Gate Lord's Eye, to me personally, is something to allay or something to delay power creep.
Yeah.
You have your base power at what's the base power in this next next one? 850?
I don't know. Let's just say all characters characters will start at 750.
760.
All characters start
760 is a max, isn't it?
All right.
Oh, what was it?
I have no idea. 960?
No, sorry.
1 million.
960. Sorry, 960.
Whatever the next lot of power is. Okay, so if it's 960, there you go. The Gate Lord's Eye, during the whole season, which you unlock nodes on to build your character. You unlock nodes, and you can get very, very powerful with this thing, and then it resets at the end of the season. So you could build this fantastic build for raids. If you can build this fantastic build for PvP, for whatever you want to do, and then when they make some changes, you can make some changes with them. Instead of changing up your entire weapons loadout, you can just change a few things in your artifact.
I think. Can I just say what my theory on the whole artifact system is?
Yeah, go.
I think ultimately the artifact system, by the end of this year, not this annual year, but this year in terms of Destiny content, by the end of these 4 seasons, I seriously think that they're going to get rid of power level altogether. That we won't have a power level. You'll just enter and you'll be a guardian, and you will have an artifact that you level up through the course of a season. And beyond that, your level won't matter. I think that they'll be able to sort of stop this thing of consistent power creep where we just continually obliterate everything. We don't have to be, I mean, obviously it raises a few questions in that, like, well, what are you going around trying to infuse armor and shit for? Fair enough. But I think that it's kind of a way that they allow you to get really powerful in a specific context and then take it away. And I think that's important because they've really struggled with that.
Yeah, we spoke. That's what we were asking for. Like recently, we thought that needed to be something like that.
Yeah,
that's a good point. What Ed's just made, the competitive Diablo seasons are like that. You start a fresh character. Well, you have your character, but it starts fresh every season.
Like re-rolls,
it re-rolls you every season. I would love, like, just on a side note, I would love to see power just out the window. Now, obviously, that would take some work in regards to Iron Banner and competitive, whatever the future of competitive PvP comes, Iron Banner, raids, blah, 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 blah. But I would love to see them just get rid of it altogether.
Why?
That's a really good point. Why?
Why do you?
I would love to build a character from base at the start of a season. Not have to worry about power.
But still have a power level though, or what?
Nah, but Matt, I think the way it's going with the artifacts, because the artifacts' function is that it unlocks mods. right? Like you look at it, and there's all these little different mods in it that effectively become, like they're the currency of the season, right? You want to do as much as you can in this season, so you unlock all of this shit, and you can put it into your gear for that season.
Yeah.
So the chase isn't necessarily about just infusing shit into gear. It becomes about chasing these things to finish or build your character for that season. And then you enter the next season and it gives you the chase.
Numbers off, like the damage you do to enemies off?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I meant in terms of like it would take a considerable rejig of the system, but they're leveling the entire playing field and bringing everyone up to 750 now. So effectively, we're all level 0 again, and we're all going to be playing in armor. Like of course there is still that power progression, but I'm starting to see that maybe ultimately they could nearly do away with it if they could figure out enough. Like really, the only reason that we have power level at all is so that content is more challenging when we first enter it, and it gives us something to chase. That's it. They're the only two reasons, right?
Yep.
So we raise our light level because it's one of those things. I want the bigger number. I'm a human being. That's the way I'm wired. That's fine. Sure. And it makes the content easier. But if you can do that through adding mods or making you more powerful through an item that ultimately becomes, expires at the end of the season, I seriously suspect that that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah, but I sort of feel like they could do that and it just be every season the max power is 50, or every season the max power is 100, and it just resets you every season, and you can still have your power level there. And you're like, I'm max level.
What have level 40, like character level 40, and then a seasonal max power of.
Well, I was going to ask about like the point of having character levels and power levels. Like, does World of Warcraft do that, or does other MMOs?
Yeah, they do. So World of Warcraft, at least when I played, I can't speak to what it looks like now, and I can't speak to what the classic looks like. I'm not sure how true they are have stayed to vanilla, but you have a character level,
and
60.
That's typically is like what gear you can equip, because that's its main function.
Yeah, that's its main function, is that you have a character level and then item levels, for lack of a better term. So it's the same as gear score in Division 1 and 2. And I would love to see that have a maximum of 100, and it only takes into account. It only brings into account the power level, or get rid of it completely. But it only brings into account the power level in competitive game modes like PvP, competitive PvP, and Gambit, and raids. Raids and PvE content. Cheers, mate.
It took me a while to work out how to Twitch, but I fucking got on me even wish my stuff.
Where's me fucking gavel? Where's me Law and Order sound?
That's why I've got the fucking band hammer up there. That's why
you need to swing it, Matt. You need to swing it.
Yeah, anyway, I usually do a little spiel when that happens in my own stream.
If you're listening to this and wondering what we're talking about, there was fucking in the chat. So anyway,
those fuckwits.
Would you want to get rid of infusion?
Yes.
That's what I mean. Oh, shut up, Long.
I hate it.
You're getting rid of everything they've built.
I know. You know what? Let's get rid of guns. I want the whole game to be just shoulder charging. That's it. Done. I'm out.
But what? So take away infusion.
Yep.
And make it transmog.
Well, I mean, we're already looking at that anyway. We're talking about look at all the Eververse armor and the way it's going. We're going to have access to look what we want to look like anyway. So the actual purpose of like finding new armor and stuff it's kind of changing the way it functions anyway. We Armor 2.0 is about building gear rather than, there's still an element that you need to go out and find. There's still, elements of the armor that are random, but it is more about building. And that's where I think that like the old days of the Destiny, like, okay, I'll wear all this shit stuff until I'm high power level, and then I'll start infusing the gear I actually want to keep. I don't think that's the philosophy going forward. And I think the growth through the season. Yeah, that's what I mean. And like the growth through the season, unlocking mods through the artifact are the new real power up, right? Like they're the new real level raising thing. That's the way I'm kind of viewing it. We'll see. I mean, I could be completely fucking wrong, but I do think it speaks to, they got their eye on a different prize.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
maybe I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No. Yeah, you did. You completely did exactly what I was just about to say.
But cool. just a comment on this bloody uncapped bullshit, right? With this, with the. I mean, yeah, it's uncapped, but there's a certain difference that eventually doesn't matter how high you are, right? Like with the way it currently works, doesn't matter if you're. Look, I have to be fucking data to know the numbers, but you're so much higher than it.
Yeah, it's gonna have. There's gonna be a ceiling,
effect, right? So, I mean, they say it's uncapped, but like, doesn't matter. Like, if you're max power level already, and maybe this is what you're getting at, if you're max power level already, it probably doesn't matter if you've got extra points on your artifact. That's only going to help you compensate for being unlucky with your power gear, with getting rolls, with having the right drops. That's what that's going to do, and then it'll tail off.
Yeah. All right. Well, Log, do you want to go? Like, do you want to get into the seasonal XP progression? The thing that people are a little bit worried about or a little bit dubious about in regards to it's very open quotes BR-ish.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that. I'll agree that
I do agree with it too.
It does mimic the kind of seasonal structure of games like probably more Apex than Fortnite, but there is definitely that.
Fortnite definitely did it first. Right.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but
kindergarten comes first, right?
But my main issue with just looking at the season pass is I just felt like Bungie was above copying stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what I mean? Like, even if they wanted to have it functionally the same, part of me was like, "You're better than this." Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, but I sort of like.
Look, I mean,
when I saw Beard Grizzlies. Like the first thing I saw about it today was Beard Grizzlies tweet, and it's just like it's a battle pass. It's a battle pass, and that's all it is. And that was, I'm not going to lie, it did put me in a pretty sour mood about it all. That being said, the more I thought about it, it allows people access.
It's actually pretty good. But just gut reaction, I think most people probably had a similar reaction, be like, what? What? But I don't. There's definitely a lot of potential for it to go wrong. So we haven't really explained what we're talking about yet. The season pass, right, is basically, I don't know what Fortnite calls it. Is it battle pass in Fortnite or whatever Apex uses?
Yeah, I think
it's
in
battle
Apex
pass
is
battle
pass.
Essentially, there's two tracks that you can be on. One, if you pay $10, it's like the fast track, and you get extra gear as you level up your battle pass, your season pass. And the other track is a bit slower, and the loot's spaced a bit further apart. And you can get most things, but not all things that the season pass holders get. Is that probably a good description of it?
Yeah, but I think the thing that we've kind of decoupled. You can pretty much get everything without paying, but we've decoupled the fact that these seasons.
No, you can't get everything. There's some things that you can only get.
Well, sorry, you can get most things without paying. Most things without paying. So it's basically, for those of you in the chat, my understanding of it is, it's a battle pass is how you earn seasonal stuff during a season. If you would like to earn a certain emote, you play the game, you get rewarded for playing the game. Non-season pass holders get access at level 1. Season pass holders get access at, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it's 35. and they get that jump because they've paid for the content. Now, you don't have to pay for it. It isn't pay to win, so to speak.
But there's potential for it to be an issue, though.
There is potential for it to be an issue, but if you want to get up there and you don't want to pay for it, play the game.
Well, look, the reason why I say there's potential, right? And I was listening to Dano's comments on this, and I think his main real issue with this is the inclusion of exotics in the season pass. Because if you're getting access to exotics quicker, and he said, look, the exotic could be shit. The exotic could be the best exotic in the game. What if that first exotic that you can get and the earliest for paying for it is like just perfectly melded for the new activity in Shadowkeep or Season of Undying, right?
What if it's perfect for the meta in PvP,
right?
Yeah.
Is that not? That's pretty close to pay to win in my eyes. And if they don't make it good, then this is what Dano said. If they don't make it good, well, then you're like, well, why the fuck did I pay for Season Pass?
Well, this is the thing.
You pay for the Season Pass to play the fucking seasonal content, not get the fucking seasonal exotic gun, right?
Yeah.
Like people, that's the biggest issue I've got with people decoupling this shit is that they're going at it purely from the what shit can I get, not what stuff can I do, right? There is a whole season worth of content that $10 allows you to enter as well. So there's that.
Yeah,
that's what you're paying
confusing,
for,
right? So because it says here Season of Undying, but you have the Season of Undying with this activities, right? But everyone gets access to the Season Pass, but only if you have Season of Undying, you're on that bottom track. Is that right?
This is why everyone in the world's confused. I'm fucking lost.
I
thought I understood it. You ruined it for me.
my take on it is that to access certain things inside the battle pass, inside the seasonal pass, is you pay for it. And when you pay for it, you're supporting the company. They are independent now. So that's the first point. The second point is you don't get access to, if you don't buy the season pass, you don't get access to the content. You get access to the weapons, you get access to the emotes, you get access to ship drops and sparrow drops and all that sort of thing, but you don't get access to the content. That's what my takeaway of it is. That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
You don't get to play the content, but you get the weapons and all that sort of thing. Yes, so if you don't want to pay for it, but you want to get the weapons, you play the game, earn the weapons. That's my understanding of it.
Yep, I think that's you put that about as eloquently.
We had some notes here. Should I read these notes from Damage?
Absolutely. Cheers to Aura from Cosmic Rock and Roll, dude. It's his
when you purchase Shadowkeep, you get the season pass for the current season.
Yes.
So you have a pass, you have a season pass, and you have the current season. Okay. If you excluding EX, is that what that means? If you've pre-ordered Shadowkeep, you'll have the season pass for Season of the Undying. See, but what is Shadowkeep? Is that a season?
Shadowkeep's not a season. It's a deals, like it's a content. It's its own thing. It's like what was Forsaken to the annual pass. Forsaken wasn't the annual pass, but the annual pass came with it, right? It's confusing, man. Like fucking fair.
So Shadowkeep is within the Season of Undying. Is that correct?
It takes place at the same time, but it's its own thing. As you could purchase, or you can purchase the Season of the Undying without having Shadowkeep.
Right. So Shadowkeep is not technically in Season of Undying. It's separate.
No, Shadowkeep is the DLC. Think of it as this way: Shadowkeep is the DLC. The season is the season pass. Shadowkeep is the underlying content for the entire year. The season pass.
I need a fucking beer. Oh shit! I'll be back.
I'll keep going. If you pre-ordered Shadowkeep, you'll have the season
Sassy's in the chat. Let him explain it.
You'll have the season pass for Season of the Undying. If you wish to remain on the paid track for future seasons, they will be available as standalone $10 purchases. If you purchase Digital Deluxe Edition of Shadowkeep, you'll have a season pass for all 3 seasons in year 3. Purchase a $10 season pass will place you on the paid track for the current season. So if you buy the $10 season pass, that's the same as buying the season?
No. Well, sorry. If you buy the season pass, you get access to all of the seasons. That's my understanding.
Hold on, what's Shadowkeep doing? Because not Shadow. What's
Shadowkeep
doing? Sorry,
Shadowkeep.
I meant to say my brain's fucked. It's been a hard week. Chat.
Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep is the next DLC. You buy that. That's very similar to Forsaken. The seasons are just what comes with it. The Digital Deluxe is the season pass and Shadowkeep. The season pass is the season pass for all 12 months of what comes next in Destiny. Does that make sense?
No, I'm just laughing at Jack because I love when, like, I know that chat has it right, but when you get like 50 people saying, all trying to explain it to you, it's incomprehensible.
Did we come to a resolution?
Yes, we did.
Okay, good.
Okay, hold on. You know what would help me?
Now we need to get Matt to reiterate his understanding of it.
Let's use season of the Drifter, because at least we fucking know what's in that and how that would work, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, season of the Drifter is the season. When you buy it,
yes, sorry.
Season of the Drifter is the season. Do you buy a season pass, which gives you access to Season of the Drifter, or do you buy Season of the Drifter and then have to buy the season pass to get the separate track for Season of the Drifter?
No, you buy the pass. It's $10.
You $10, which is giving you access to that season.
That $10 for the season. So it's $40 extra for the entire year, for the entire 12 months.
Right. So you get you buy the season pass for Season of the Drifter for $10, and that gives you the fast track in your battle pass. If you don't buy the season pass Season of Drifter, you're on the fucking plebeian pass and you don't get any of the exotics. Right? Is that correct?
No, Matt. If you buy the season pass, you're on the fast track. If you don't buy the season and you get to play the seasonal content.
Yes.
If you don't buy the season pass, you still get access to the emotes, the exotics. So the emotes, the exotics, the ship, the sparrow, and all of the fucking.
If you earn it, yeah.
All of the if you earn it, but you have to earn it. You don't get to play the content. You do get the stuff that
so you
everyone else gets.
You just have to go do old shit to level up your season pass.
Exactly.
Okay. I think we're there.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we're there.
Have we blown fever addled brain?
I feel for Matt. He's
look. Hey,
he's not 100%, and he's trying to understand this as explained by us, who are fucking not really helping him. And it just kind of anyway.
I know that you didn't finish fucking high school yet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to chat because I know you guys had got it, but look, I guarantee that there will be someone who is like me and who's having a tough week, and they just need it to be broken down, right? So there you go.
And you were giving us shit last week. You were giving us shit last week about not understanding the law, motherfucker. This is the basic shit.
Keg says, I think we need to do a DDU infographic to explain this. Get on it. I'm surprised Bungie haven't I mean, we probably will see them reiterate this sometime soon and kind of iron it out, because it is fucking murky. It took me a few reads to really go through and understand it. So a lot of the questions that we had Look, hang on. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll just finish this shit off and then
All
we'll
right.
go to
It's
questions.
right here. Okay. It's right here. It's all part of the season. Season pass owners get access to the new seasonal activity, the Vex Offensive, which includes 4 legendary weapon drops, additional weekly and daily bounties, additional weekly challenges with powerful rewards, a new weapons quest for an exotic bow, the Leviathan's Breath, exclusive to season pass owners, a new exotic hand cannon, Ariana's Vow.
The exotic's exclusive. That's what I was telling you.
Matthew.
Wait, Matt. A new exotic hand cannon, Ariana's Vow, awarded on rank 35 in the free track, awarded on rank 1 of the premium track.
Yeah, so the exotic bow's exclusive. That is a
to season pass.
If you don't
owners.
pay, you can't get that.
Matt,
exactly.
That has been in Destiny for fucking forever. If you buy base level Destiny, you don't get all the shit that comes with fucking Forsaken, mate.
The only reason I'm fired up is because you guys fucking shot me down when I said, and you get access to exotics. And Loft was like, you get all the exotics regardless. So you were fucking wrong, weren't you?
This is not a hill you want to die on, Matthew.
Maybe it is.
Some additional.
Maybe this is how I go out. Shut the fuck up!
You dumb cunt. Right. 3 seasonal legendary armor sets, 1 for each class. Collect a complete set during the first 25 ranks of the free track. Note, this is a change from the annual pass where you are required to purchase gear from the season. On the premium track, you get all 3 sets on rank 1. These also drop within the Vex Offensive seasonal activity. If you want versions with higher stat tiers, you'll need to play Vex Offensive to earn them. Some additional premium track rewards. 3 universal ornament armor sets, 1 for each class, an exotic weapon ornament for Ariana's Vow, 2 legendary weapon ornaments, a new finisher, an exotic emote, and an exotic ship.
I'd say to anyone that's going to put the time in to go and play all of this content, to grind it out, to get the shit without paying a cent for it, that they should go and spend the time teaching themselves to play an instrument instead, and then go and busk, raise $10, come back, buy the fucking content and be done with it. Because it's just like, why would you not? It's $10 for fuck's sake. Anyway.
But
right.
I mean, I can understand, like, okay, from I don't have kids. What would you say if your kid came to you every fucking quarter? Oh, yeah, I need to buy to the fucking season pass.
Is it $10?
That's basically, mate. Yeah, okay,
it's $10, and
if
your
they're going to play it and it's
goes
$10
and fucks off and leaves you alone. $10, sweet.
Okay,
no worries. Does it give them something to do where they're not like, Dad? Sweet. $50. I don't give a shit.
When if you and fucking Danny ever have kids,
God save it.
Danny is very intelligent, but you are as fucking dumb as a brick sometimes.
You poor bugger. You look so
like I'm as dumb
up.
as a brick for most of the time, but fuck, even I understand this. Oh,
it's all good. Yeah. So I think and it's been made more confusing by the fact that people have been kind of, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who have kind of done what we all initially did and seen, well, what? This is the battle pass. This is shit, because it's the knee-jerk reaction. But I think it's definitely a departure from where Destiny has been. Personally, I think it has the potential to be a good thing. So that's what I'm going to say. That's
at Mylan Games. You may not be the dumbest person on the planet, but you better hope they don't fucking die, mate. From Sassy.
All right, look, we're gonna open the fucking chat up now. So you're all on YouTube. Behave. If you got
before you open the chat up, hang on. Before you open the chat,
it's done.
Nah, oh well, you're a fucking dumb prick, eh? New light, removing barriers for friends, and $0.
Sorry.
We've talked a lot about what you get if you buy the season pass, but let's talk about what you get with Destiny 2 for spending nothing. This fall, new friends playing Destiny 2 for the first time are coming, and we're going to make Destiny a great experience for everyone. At its core, what makes Destiny 2 special and a place we all come back to is the community, the friendships, and the memories we made along the way. Destiny is the best if you can convince your friends to play, and we think a $0 price tag is another way to make that easier. The default version of Destiny 2 this fall will be New Light. And on top of it all, D2 Year 1, available free with New Light. We're going to make sure there's plenty of new free content in Season of the Undying. Here's some of what all players, even without the Season Pass, can access on October 1st. All Destiny 2 players, whether you're coming into New Light or all in on Shadowkeep and the Season of the Undying, will have access to the following: patrolling the Moon destination, the opening mission of Shadowkeep, and 2 new strikes, Crucible updates, 2 returning PvP maps from the D1 era, Widow's Court and Twilight Gap, elimination in Crucible Labs, Armor 2.0 build customization, Eye of the Gate Lord seasonal artifact, new finishes, 2 new pinnacle weapons, 1 for Gambit and 1 for the Crucible, free seasonal rank awards, which include the bow, the hand cannon, 3 legendary armor sets, 2 legendary weapons, best of year 2 bright engrams, glimmer, and upgrade modules. There you go.
All right.
There you go.
What we're going to do
Look,
now?
this is how slow I am.
Matt, it's okay. I've got a law question for you.
Ariana's vow. Ring a bell?
Yes, Matt. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Oh, well, you fucking tell me then, you smart asses. You think I'm a dumb cunt? Go on then.
Are you
tell me about
okay?
Ariana then.
Are you no? You like here's your moment. That's fine. But
No, I'm not fucking playing this game
15
anymore.
minutes ago.
Because you guys always tease me. So go on, you tell me about Ariana 3. I'll give you a hint. Your name's Ariana 3.
Yeah, she's a EXO.
And?
I don't know. She's the third. No, I recognise the name. That was all I was saying. But yeah, anyway, Matt's got his cranky pants on and he's law flexing on people now. So, this is taking a really strange turn. What we might do is we're going to jump into, I'm going to make a habit out of this. So if you're listening to the podcast in one of the recorded formats, jump on the DDU Twitter on the day that we're going to go live, probably the Friday maybe. Well, I'll make it the Friday, fuck it. I'll put out a tweet. If you've got anything you want to ask us and you're not here in the live stream, that'll be your place to do it. So that's the way we're going to go about it from now on. Cheers to Peebo for fucking the ripping good idea. But we'll work our way through a few of them. Thoughts on the Battle Pass or Season Pass? I think we've covered it. Thanks, Mantis Hard. Tarabay asks... what are your thoughts on revisiting the Black Garden? How do you think new players will take it compared to veteran players? Maddie is probably, you can talk about this one.
Oh, no, I think this can be pretty general. I mean, I think the Black Garden D1 was pretty underwhelming, to be honest. Everyone's like, that was the end of this was following Halo. This was the ending of the campaign.
Yeah.
We shot this weird thing.
We just shot a black nutsack in a fucking big circle.
We didn't even shoot a black nutsack.
We shot a colostomy bag
around it.
Shoot the colostomy. True.
We didn't even shoot the fucking nutsack. The nutsack just hung there like a fucking
nutsack
scrotum.
And remember, oh God, God, I'm so fucked up. The Black Garden. Yeah, I mean, I think it's people forget, like, there was a lot of hate and disappointment towards D1 campaign.
Yeah.
And a lot of confusion. Everyone's like, what happened? Everyone's like, what happened? I don't know what happened. I don't understand this story at all.
I didn't know.
This was before people really, people didn't even know what the Grimble cards were yet.
You know what?
We just knew when I played.
When I played the final mission was with friends of mine that I was in the army with, and we were just happy that we killed the darkness. We didn't understand what the fuck was happening. I didn't understand Destiny lore until Taken King. I just played the game to shoot it. So I'm really glad that going back there now that I understand it a bit more and I can look at it. I can look at it and go, that's what we were doing. They didn't cover it then, but we're covering it now.
Yep, I reckon that's
more that you
that's
look
my
at
thoughts too. Actually,
the more that you look into it, people are going to go, oh yeah, that's what that reference. Oh, that was that reference and all that sort of shit. So, like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What the fuck were we supposed to do then? What the fuck were we supposed to do then? Like it was all a learning experience. I actually really cherish those times learning about this universe.
And I think the people that don't,
you cunts.
I think the people that don't have the history or maybe will be new to Destiny, I think there'll be enough.
It's a new shining experience. And if you want to
game
fucking learn about it,
there'll be enough dialogue and enough cutscenes and enough whatever to just give a taste of what they're actually doing. I can't imagine we're gonna go back to just being totally confused by a campaign.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And I think it's good. I think this is sort of taking something that was all really confusing in the history of Destiny and bringing it back into the light, explaining it properly, giving it another pass, giving it justice. Oh my God, jeez, did you see the snot come out of his nose then?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the podcast forever. We're never coming back. He's muted himself and he hasn't realised. He hasn't realised, has he?
He hasn't realised.
My mic muted.
Oh, what does anyone watch this garbage? All right, let's move on. Luke Corden asks, PAX Australia, what's the drinking plan? Next week.
Okay, no. Someone wanted to ask. Look. We can't talk about it yet. We're in the process of letting everyone know about PAX. I would just say, if you've ever thought about going to PAX Australia, this is the one to go to, and be there for the whole time at the moment, and we'll let you know.
Just get.
I reckon next week maybe.
Buy that 3-day pass.
Yes.
I'm hoping next week.
Be there to use it.
Yeah. Soon TM, ladies and gentlemen. Soon TM.
Yeah,
but the drinking plan is Log and Matt probably copious. I might have 2 or 3 and then go home because I am a Cadbury. I get drunk off a glass and a half.
Actually, that harkens into Chris Kadir's question. Between the three of you, who drinks the most, and when drinking, do you dudes play better at Destiny? Who drinks the most? Me.
Yeah, I think Long drinks the most.
I'm not proud of that, but I'm also proud of
that.
But
I feel like I sunk enough at the Sydney event. Like I wasn't.
Yeah, you had as many as I did. And we all fucking sat in you and Log's hotel room and saying like ate pizza and talked fucking bullshit.
We got those 3 massive pizzas with the Uber guy. Fucking Uber Eats dude came brought us.
And I got out of the Uber on halfway home to go and buy more beer after leaving the pub. And then ran.
We left the pub, left the pub on Oxford Street, and he's like, "Yeah, go here, go here." We're in the middle of fucking Redfern, and Log goes, "Yeah, I'll get out here and I'll walk a carton home." I'll go, "You sure?"
Yeah, I was fine. Anyway.
Oh shit!
If you're wearing a sleeveless shirt and you're carrying a carton of piss, you're immune to everything. But yeah, no, I don't play better when I'm drunk. I try not to stream and drink too much these days because I just play like shit and end up pissed off. So there's that. More serious.
Ends up making fucking sappy fucking posts on Twitter and saying, "Oh, I'm much better than what I look like I do."
I did not say that. That is not what I said.
No, I'm just.
Don't even. I'll get you. Don't you worry, Adam.
You get me every fucking
Peebo,
week.
The progenitor of this idea, just wanted to know your thoughts on the complexity of seals, triumphs, and quests. If content will disappear after 3 months, for instance, the Reckoner seal has been completed by less than 1% of players 6 months after launch. Do we think we're going to see seasonal titles, or I mean, how does that season structure?
Seasonal titles are already there. Seasonal titles already.
Yeah,
there.
but when the content goes away, how does that work?
Well, then you don't get.
You just got to do it.
You don't get it.
You just got to do it.
If you want the title, you got to play it. I mean, it's.
I reckon that's the case.
If you pay for the game,
they'll drop like how long it takes to grind it. Yeah.
It's a. Yeah,
like if you question what's the battle pass.
Shut up, Gamma.
Right.
No one.
We'll get Matt to explain that once we're through the Twitter questions.
2019 from Titan Scrubs. 2019 is an example like that. That's gone. That's done. You can't get it no more.
100%.
You know, like
I'm happy with that. I think that titles or things like that, things that ultimately don't matter but are kind of cool. If you know, it's like the laser tag emblem, Slothy, as you were saying before. That you know, if you were there, you get it. If you don't, cool. You know, it adds flavor to the world when not everyone can have everything. All right, and Wayne. Last but not least, what did you think of Luke Smith's Wayne's World moment? Re how Black Armory should have gone. He said, I might be biased, but it sounded awesome, and I'm not sure if we're worthy. We're not worthy.
When I read it, and like, so the whole Wayne's World thing is just so very muchly our age.
Yeah, it is really.
Like 30 and above.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure younger.
Well, 40 and above for me, but, you know, but like that's cool as fuck. But how he explained it, and what I thought as well, I was following along every fucking word. I was stuck on it, every word. And I thought, how cool would that have been if we had just gotten a message when we logged in, I'm returning from space at this.
Yeah, it was a very cool write-up and a pretty eloquent way of displaying ultimately where they want to go. So let's hope that that's where it ends up, right?
Yeah.
All right, questions from chat. If you've got a question, fire away. If you've asked one that's good already, Sloth will probably find it.
Reflex, anyone heading to MEO? What is MEO? Wombat, question, finishes. That's just a word. Question from Pizza Trains. What's an acceptable Australian beer? Great Northern.
Except I noticed this one thing. I'm not sure if it's going to come up on the camera, but there's a picture there. You can't really see it. That you see it right next to my finger, and it looks like a chick with a
pregnant woman.
Oh, I thought it was just no fat chicks can drink it.
No, it's a pregnant woman, you fucking dumb.
I'm being fucking obtuse. But if that was a bloke, if it didn't have a ponytail, it'd just look like a bloke with a ripping beer gut going, yeah.
Well, I mean, I had a ponytail and a beer gut for a while.
You still have a beer gut, cunt.
Still got the beer gut.
It's going away slowly.
So, Mylan Games banned from drinking Great Northern. You heard it here first.
You know what? Like, just thinking about it, I'm really glad that you fucking cut your ponytail. You had a haircut.
Well, I mean,
it's a fucking strange thing for you to concern yourself with.
You always make fun of my hair regardless, so you know I don't know what you like.
He likes eggs, mate. Look at him.
MEO is Melbourne Esports Open. That would be actually kind of fun to go to, wouldn't it? From Flying Wombat, question, thoughts on finishes? You guys like them or not? Yeah,
cool. More variety and a different way to get ammo and provide different buffs to your team. It'll be good. I like, and Reflex is like, and there's Borderlands 3 there to play. I could not care less about a game. I really honestly could not care less about Borderlands 3. I don't trust Randy Pitchford or Gearbox, and I feel sorry for people who work underneath him, and they're sorry for the PR department that has to work with him with all the fucking bullshit that he spouts on the internet. I know that something very similar to that Alexis, whatever his face, that assaulted all those women in the games industry at some point will come out about Randy Pitchford. He just seems like that kind of person. And I will not purchase.
You're gonna have some private investigators at your fucking door soon if you keep talking like that.
It's fine, whatever. Like, it's just, I don't like him. I don't trust him, and I feel bad for anyone who has to work under him.
Yeah, he does. He does seem like a proper.
He's a snake. He's a fucking snake.
Hey. I get it. We're allowed to have opinions. That's cool.
Me and Long now know when Sloth starts to take off. And we just jump on him before he takes flight. Otherwise, it's too hard to get him fucking down. And he's
you know what? I'm actually in some semblance of a good mood, even after today getting fucking destroyed in Tarkov. Anyway, and another thing is that Matt, did you want to touch on NBA 2K20 or whatever the fuck that was?
Yeah, I only watched maybe half of Angry Joe's review, but I love Angry Joe when he goes on a proper rant, and this is disgusting. It's literally
hang on. I fucking haven't ripped the sound file. I've failed everyone. I was going to go for the sound bite. It's fucking disgusting, but I've failed. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to do Shaq's instead anyway. All right, good. Go.
So, like, literally machines you would see in a casino are in electronic form to earn card packs for NBA. So, spin wheels. What are the little ones where you put the ball in the top and it like bounces down?
Pachinko machines.
Yeah.
Those machines.
Yeah.
A literal slot machine that has the fucking handle and everything. It is 100% the closest you could get to gambling without going to the fucking casino. And it's rated, what was it, Peggy 3+ or some shit?
Yeah, sports games are typically immune to that kind of rating, hey? Like they're rated differently.
Yeah, and
so there's full-blown casino-style gambling in a game that is rated friendly for children, is what you were saying.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Like, GTA copped a whole bunch of flack from when the new casino content.
Did that go through?
I think it has gone through in Australia, but like copped so much flack.
Gives a fuck. It's in an R-rated game.
No. But it's in an R-rated game and they cop flack for it. But they're not doing anything about a sports game, which is accessible from children as young as fucking 10 years old. Like it's disgusting. And I really would love to see each. I know what's going through your head. Each Western country really crack down on it because these developers, these AAA publishers and developers are getting away with terrible behavior.
You know the funny thing of Angry Joe, he just lost it. He's like, you fucking sport gamers. He's like, you're all pieces of shit. He just went like, fucking, I'm out. He's like, you're all pieces of shit. You got to stop buying this. You got to start being angry about this. You got to stop doing this. You can't just keep accepting this. And he just
there's no gratuitous violence in these games, so it gets past the media. That's the thing. Like the media are only 100% wholly and solely focused on gratuitous media. Like any sort of violent crime or anything like that, the media jumps on it. Oh, this guy played Doom once for 5 minutes 25 years ago. He's a fucking serial killer. Like they don't care about sports games, and that's the reason why they can get away with it. That's the reason why EA can get away with it with FIFA.
This is pretty close to the fucking line, man. This is pretty close to the line.
Matt, this isn't close to the line. This is so far beyond it. It is ridiculous. This is like EA Sports. It's in your kid's bedroom making them play the fucking pokies. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. just imagine if fucking Isla was sitting there and she was into sports games for some reason and she played NHL or fucking FIFA or something and you just saw her pulling on a fucking find the gold machine on Xbox. Like I say that with a little bit of tongue in cheek, but I would be fucking mortified if my kids
honestly
fucking,
I can tell you this. There was a game she was playing probably 9 months ago, probably around Christmas time, and there was an ad in it for those online poker machines. Like the online poker machines in a kid's game. It was like an art game when she was drawing. It was like color and shit in or whatever. Like, I thought that was fucking insipid. And it was just a little, like, 10-second ad in between rounds or whatever. This is actually getting kids to fucking learn the mechanics of gambling. Oh. Oh, man.
There was two. There
We're
were two
all going
things.
to hell. Give up.
There was that. What was the other? I felt like there were two big sort of news things today.
Well, there was that thing from
Look, surprise mechanic, Daddy, we're bankrupt. Mate.
Yeah, the thing on Alexis Kennedy, which is fucking absolutely terrifying, and it's really good to see that a lot of people, like, I don't understand. I've never been a victim of the people that never been a victim of the shit that what people are saying that he's done, and I tend to believe them. But yeah, that's a whole different fucking thing, and I'm glad that people are reaching out and actually doing something about it, which is nice.
Yeah, I've seen that come through my feed a couple of times, but I haven't really, like, I've read a few things, but I don't understand who the guy is or whatever. Like, but,
no, I've never played any of his games either. But you know, like, I see a lot of people retweeting and answering and trying to make the video game industry a better place. Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, I think
because it's
just a microcosm of the rest of the world, right? Like, that's what we all want. Good to see him doing it there.
Yeah.
Right.
Teach a kid to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. Teach a kid to count cards, they'll eat for free in the high roller suite.
Or they get stabbed in a fucking gutter.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on where you count cards. In Vegas, you probably won't get smacked up anymore by old school mobsters. But if you do it in Singapore, you're probably going to be left for dead in a fucking in the bay. Yeah.
Just don't do it at Star City in Sydney.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Oh, do it in Crown. Do it in Crown. James Packer's a fuckhead.
We are not advocating card counting and
no, we are
Randy
not advocating
in one episode. Righto, what else is there to talk about? Something fucking positive, please. Matt, do you want to explain the seasonal pass again?
No. One thing that's crossed our like in the house here, Lindsay and I have been watching Mindhunters. What a fantastically horrific show that is.
Your season
talking about Chucky really would talking about
watch it. Yeah, serial killers and how they think and all that sort of thing. It is fucking so intriguing to many people, including me and Matt and I and a few people in Fat Cunts Inc. Now, so which is nice. And it is, yeah, I highly recommend giving it a watch. I think I'm only about 2 episodes in, and it's really well done.
Season 2 starts off a bit slow, but it definitely picks up. It's good.
Yeah. Chernobyl, people have said Chernobyl's people who have watched Chernobyl. I thought Chernobyl was quite good, but everyone's fucking been there, done that, all that sort of shit. Any other TV shows that you guys are watching recently? I'm getting into Line of Duty.
I started watching a bit of Dark. It's in German, so it requires reading, and you realize when you're a fucking fat slob trying to eat on the couch, you can't read and eat at the same time without spilling shit everywhere. So it's one of those ones where you actually have to concentrate and watching the TV. But that's not bad.
I think that's very much Line of Duty.
13 Reasons Why season 3 came out.
I saw that.
It's okay.
I saw the shorts for that on Netflix. That doesn't interest me, and neither does Stranger Things. Someone replied to me the other day.
Stranger Things season 3. That was really good.
Stranger Things.
I watched a bit of it. It just didn't gel with me. But the other day I tweeted the saxophone is the sexiest and most emotional fucking instrument ever. And some people gave me different examples: violin, cello, blah 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 blah. But someone said, "Oh, what were you listening to?" And I said, "Oh, I was listening to the Midnight, which is a synthwave band." And they said, "Oh, capitalizing on Stranger Things." And I was just thinking to myself, synthwave spinner is the fucking 80s.
It's kind of the resurgence, but yeah.
Oh yeah, bloody Disney with the Mandalorian.
Oh,
Yeah.
Another fucking subscription we're gonna have to get involved in.
Yeah, sure. Don't pirate things, kids. All right. Well,
Mate,
yeah,
where's that?
Mandalorian
Let's close these shop doors. Let's
yeah,
not fucking
I'm
beat
going to
around the
go
bush.
home.
Yeah,
I want to go. I
fucking-
mean, I'm already
Yeah.
home, but I'm going to just go and drink. That's what I'm
Yeah.
going to do.
Yeah. I want to go sit on the couch and blow my nose that you guys making fucking fun of me.
Shut up.
By the way,
Ladies and gentlemen,
fuck you, pluggo. You gotta look. Shut up.
Nah, let him do his bit.
I tweeted out. I tweeted 50 Destiny mysteries, right? I did this video 2 days before Christmas or a week before Christmas, or something like 17th or the 20 something of December 2016. And I posed 50 questions, and I'm revisiting it in the next video. I got to question 20 and I was up to 17 pages of notes. And I thought, wow.
Oh, Jesus, man.
So I was like, all right, I'll just do 20. And I got to 10 and I was at 9 pages once I've actually had written it out. I was like, that's all I can do. It's a 30-minute video on 10 questions. So it's going to be 5. If it keeps up like that, it's going to be 5 things. But all the things are like, who is Nocris? Who is the Exo Stranger? Like, just all those big questions that we had like years ago, just covering again. So yeah, it's a big boy. There you go.
Did you manage to get through that?
Why do you always do this to me?
Did you manage to get through that being as crook as you are?
Wait till you listen to it. It sounds awful. My nose is blocked as hell.
It really does. Did you go down to the chemist and get the fucking nasal spray like I told you to?
Didn't.
That's what I was going to tell
you
you.
silly fuck.
I literally finished just in time to get into this podcast.
Why was you steal me fucking lighter? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you for the follows to that person that was spamming links in the chat to his Twitch channel. Fuck off, you leech! And no, guys, thank you for the resubs, bits, the follows in the live chat.
We got V Mossy that subscribed to Twitch Prime for 6 months. Thank you, V Mossy.
What a legend.
Thank you, Mossy.
Good on you, mate.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, keep your eyes open on the DDU Twitter, on mine, Logs, Matt's Twitter. We will have news.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll say this in closing.
The 3-day passes are sold out for PAX.
Buy one of each of the days, particularly the front
Friday.
end of the yes. All of the days
that rhymes with
starting with F.
Friday.
If you can think just any good Ice Cube movies you want to fucking yeah, look, honestly, it's fucking crushing us to death not being able to talk to everyone, and I fucking can't convey that strongly enough. But the second we're allowed, we will be talking to everyone. And until then,
all right, guys, thank you to the audio only listeners. Thank you very much for your continued patronage. If you, and to the YouTube crowd, thank you very much. To that bloke that called me out for not playing comp and all that sort of thing. Your comment didn't make sense. Maybe actually throw some IQ behind it before speaking next time. You've got plenty of time to edit a comment before you actually hit send. So edit it down, get a thought process in, get someone else to read it, then send it. Ladies and gentlemen, if we've missed anything, please let us know in the comments section below or on Twitter at DDU_podcast, at LogPowerSlave, at Myling Games, at Realtime Sloth. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell button. You won't get any notifications because YouTube is shit. It is a fucking cunt of a platform. And you know what? Fuck capitalism. Until the next time, we've been the DDU podcast. Catch you then.
You got anything to add? Vix will find you.
Vix will find you. I'm done.
All right, stand by for a raid.
I served the Soviet newt.